Ideogram is pretty good at creating colouring pages. Now I have these 4 pages just here, which we're going to take a quick look at, and if you stick around and watch all of this video, I also have 48 other prompts for colouring pages, which I'm also going to share. Now, taking a look at these, we can see they look really good. We have this dinosaur colouring page just here. We also have this animal farm one. Now, I've only just noticed that the ear on this looks a little bit off, as we can see just there, but nonetheless, the rest of it looks great as well. Same with these forest animals and this turtle as well. Now, this came from my public profile over on Ideogram, where I'm sharing all of these different colouring pages. So all that you have to do is come in, click onto one of these colouring pages, and then you can come to the prompt and you can use however you want. Now, if we come back to here just for a second, like I just said, this is on my public profile, which means if you have an account with Ideogram, then all you have to do is come through and you can check all of these out. Now, what I'll do is link my public profile down in the description as well. You can also get here by going to ideogram.ai/u/stacking profit, and again it will bring you to my public profile. Now, all of these colouring pages which you see just here were all created with my ultimate colouring page prompt generator, LineArt GPT. So if we come over to here for a second, this is it. This is currently part of my ultimate colouring page prompt generator, which will be available back on the 28th of June, which is actually this Friday. But this is actually created for Midjourney, and it does a pretty good job. Now, these are some of the prompts which it created, and again we can see it does a fantastic job with Midjourney, but it also does a pretty good job with Ideogram as well. Now, with this, all we have to do is type in the type of colouring page that we want just here, or we can actually say, give me an idea for adults or kids. If we click on one of these, it's then going to give us a prompt which we can then take over to Midjourney or also Ideogram. Now, this one just here is a happy sun with a smiling face surrounded by fluffy clouds. Now, let's go ahead and actually take this prompt. We're going to copy this. Let's come over to Ideogram instead. Now, all of the colouring pages that you see just here were actually magic prompts. So if we click onto one of these, the prompt just here wasn't created with my generator, but it's a magic prompt which came from my own prompt. So if we come over to the home page, let me explain and show you what I mean. If we put the prompt in here, click illustration and click magic prompt on, let me just put this on public. Then if we click generate, we get 4 variations of this prompt with 4 different magic prompts. Then the way that I do things is that I take one of those images and I remix that with the magic prompt. So let's give this a second for it to do its thing, just like that. And there we go. So now what I like to do is take one of these variations, which I like the most. I actually like this one just here. Then I click on remix. Now, anytime you remix and you've had magic prompt on, instead of the remix using the original prompt just here, it's going to use the magic prompt just here instead. So if we click remix, we've now got that magic prompt just here. Then I like to do image weight around about 90, so we only get a slight variation of this original image. I then turn magic prompt off because I don't want any more magic prompts, because we're going to use this prompt just here. Then I click generate, and now we're going to get 4 slight variations of this colouring page just here using this magic prompt just there. So if we go back, we now have these. I could then choose my favourite out of all of these. Now with this one, I quite like, well, they're all very similar because we used the 90% remix, so they all look pretty good. But now I could literally come into this, download this and use it as a colouring page. So again, if we go back to all of these just here, all of these originate from my own prompts with my GPT, but then using the magic prompt. So let's click on one of these. We can see what the prompt is just here. It is a delightful and simplistic line art illustration of a happy penguin with a joyful expression. And then it goes on to have a little bit more detail. Now out of these, I quite like this giraffe, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. And again, all these are on my public profile, which means you can come through, you can click onto the image, you can click onto the plus icon to have that prompt added just here. Then you can click illustration, and then you can click magic prompt on, and then you're going to get your own variations of this prompt with your own 4 different magic prompts. Now let's go ahead and just delete these 2 as well, like so. And let's take a look to see what we get with this prompt. And there we go. So out of these 4 variations just here, I quite like this first one just here because it looks really good. And again, you can come through, check out all of these prompts here with these colouring pages and use however you want. So let's click on one of these. I really like these cottages as well. Let's click on here. Let's click on the plus icon. We're going to have illustration and we're going to click magic prompt on as well. And then we're going to click generate. So let's just see what we get from that one as well. And again, if we take a look here, there's 48 different colouring pages, which you can come through, check out and use however you want. Now let's just give this one a second as well, because that's almost done. Now what I am also going to do, so make sure that you are following me here on Ideogram as well, because I will be adding a lot more colouring pages the more that I play with my GPT. But nonetheless, let's take a look at these. These look really, really good. I quite like this first one. The second one looks pretty good as well. In fact, if we go back here, I quite like these plant pots in the window as well. But that's the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. So with this, you could create a whole colouring book just with cottages, because again, they actually look really, really good. But nonetheless, come through, follow me on Ideogram, take a look at all these colouring pages and use however you want. Now, if you found this video helpful at all, then please consider giving me a like, as it really helps out the channel. And if you're not too sure what to watch next, click right here and watch this playlist.